Hello everyone, and welcome to Minecraft Bedrock. That's right, I'm not going to Hypetail train anytime soon. Hytale, not Hypetail. Because, well, A, I'm broke, and B, I just love the technical side of things. And I'm here with a little bit of progress with this thing. My 15 by 15 display. So, it's basics of how it works. When the client sends a request for, I don't know, let's say red, I'll try to fire this one. If this observer under here detects that this one has not fired, it will consider it out of stock. Okay. And then I'll try to fire this one. If this one hasn't fired, then I'll try to fire this one, and this one, and then this one, and if this one doesn't fire, then I'll alert the customer, hey, or the user, not the customer, sorry, hey, I'm out of stock. Once we get a successful fire, we press that button, or the machine will, you know. Sorry for the delay, that's the pulse extender. I don't know how to fix that. It's all a work in progress though. But then this thing will slowly, keyword slowly because it's a flying machine, but there's not much that I can really do about that. It will slowly make its way over. And then the first available slot will be filled. So I've already filled it with light blue concrete powder so that you guys can see what will happen when the thing is full. And it could look really cool. But you can see that because these are full, it won't drop in. But as soon as there is one that is full, it drops in. So, then this just switches the pistons around and it returns. So, if I unpower that, it'll refresh the display. That looks really cool. So we get to see it from this side here. We can see that this one, these pistons over here push it across, and these ones push it up. Could it use a little bit less time delay? Absolutely. Is it going to get that treatment? Absolutely not. Okay. But anyways, when it reaches the piston push limit, these ones pull it back, and then this one pushes it up. And then right up here is the piston push limit, completely by coincidence. Don't know how I got that lucky. I would have to place obsidian and do some magic there. But we can see that everything slowly rises up. Okay. If I power that, it turns off all of the switching. Doesn't turn off the actual clocks because that wouldn't be very easy, but it works. So if I do that to fill it back in, I unpower it again. You have to make sure it's unpowered before you do anything, because otherwise it has a high potential to break. And we don't want things to break. Because, you know. Yeah, no. So, we're at 30 blocks on each. And I hope you can see why I need so much memory. Not now. I hope you can see why we need so much memory available. Oh boy. Why is that happening? Oh, there should be. Why wasn't there sitting there? Okay, that's a fixable thing. Don't know why there wasn't obsidian there. Didn't encounter that before. But then the machine will say, unpower this. This thing will say, okay, I'll unpower it. And then the flying machine is going to come along. It can't pick up these piston heads, but it will pick up any powdered sand or concrete blocks. So like, boom, boom. You'll see that it picked up those two. Look. Did it? Was there just another one? I don't know. Okay. You'll then drag it. Okay. Well, this thing, okay, will then know what block this is, and it will tell it to these modules here. Okay. But hypothetically, and no it's not, but for purposes of showing you, it's red concrete powder. It's going to take, okay, these things here are going to be unpowered because the memory will know, hey, it's this block. So it will unpower it, and you can see that there's now a gap there. What the flying machine will do is it will basically take it, drag it along here. Flying machine then gets pushed and slightly rearranged so it doesn't, try to fly off in that direction. Flying machine then gets rearranged so it flies off in this direction. And right here, it will drop it in. And then flying machine hits here, gets pushed and slightly rearranged. Flying machine hits here, gets rearranged. And then it sends a signal, hey, I'm ready for the next one. And if the observer that will be right here detects no movement, when it says, hey, I'm ready for the next one, this is considered done. So it will move on and unpower the next one. Boom. And then that one is ready for movement. It's really simple design, but also not, because the flying machines are so hard. That sand is there from this thing. I forgot to place the line of obsidian. That's what happens if you forget something. But it actually works. So why this huge mess over here? Well, okay, let's say that this is coming in. Okay. Sometimes work with redstone is a struggle. So, it's going to look something like this. Those pistons might be the other way around. I don't know. So these are going to pull them back. Okay? And then, I think you can observe it better with this one. We can see that this gets pushed downwards. Okay. And when we unpower that, these pistons get pulled up. And we can see there's a sticky piston there and a normal piston down there. However, if I push this button, boop, you can see that there's a normal piston there and a sticky piston there. It's just a really fancy block swapper. It took a lot of energy because this thing, well, it's using my fantastic quadruple piston extender design. But because we're pushing pistons, well, that didn't go so well. What ended up happening was, well, you'll see if I get rid of this block. Yep. Nope, that one didn't do it. Redstone bedrock is sometimes inconsistent. But you can see that this one gets powered and stops the whole thing from firing after we do that. So, what I had to end up doing is I had, that's not going to cut out. It's transparent block, right? So, what happens is this thing cuts this off until this has reached this amount of time here. What that means is that when this has reached this amount of time, then it will allow this to go, which gives this an actual chance to fire before this thing, and it doesn't power that one down there. So we'll notice if we have something, boom, and then we just power this. After doing that on the other side too, and then we move the observers around so that it will actually fire. In this case it will, but we arrange them over here so that they won't actually fire. And that's very important, because if they did actually fire, well, then it would try to go, and then it would run into this thing and break and But we do have, as soon as I figure out how to hook that up and hook the memory up, we will have a falling sand display with no user input yet, but you know. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and with that, good